Hey boys, welcome back to the NinjaNamedJay channel, and today I will be reviewing the second episode of the second season of The Last of Us. And oh my god, what did I just watch? Ooh, that was a fucking good episode boys, I'll tell you. So before I start the review, I do want to say to anyone who didn't watch the first episode, my first review, I have not played the second game. I haven't even played the first one. Back in the day I watched PewDiePie play the first one, but the second one I have not played, but I do know the general outlines of what happened in the game. You know, I got a rough guess of what's going to happen in Season 2. So with that being said, I'm just going to go over the plot a little bit of what happened in this episode, then at the end, I'll go more in depth of what I thought about the episode. The episode starts off with Abby, and she's in the hospital where Joel killed all the Fireflies. And she's basically being a schizo. She's talking to her past self, trying to force herself not to look at what happened, to what Joel did to the doctors and all the other Fireflies, basically. Then it cuts to the remaining Fireflies. I don't know all their names. I think like one of them's name is Owen, but you know, I'll give them my own names. So one of them looks like fucking Jake Gyllenhaal. The other looks like Fake Mink, the fucking UK rapper. Everyone in the comments, leave down your favourite Fake Mink song. Mine is Kill Everything. Then you got this fucking bold Asian bitch. I don't know what it is with entertainment and forcing like every Asian female character to be fucking bold. I don't know what's going on with that. I think she's like Blasian in real life, but my point still stands. It's kind of like a couple years back, maybe like 5 years back, when they made like every black male character have locks with a comb over. It's like really weird. I don't know why they're forcing this. And there's this other like girl character, I forgot her name of course, and she looks so familiar. I don't know who she looks like. She kinda looks like Mindy Kaling, so I guess I'm just gonna call her Mindy Kaling. But yeah, Abby and the rest of the Fireflies are discussing their plan on how to kill Joel, how to find him. And they're discussing going into Jackson, but they reckon that there's too much security, so there's a lot of doubts going on how they're going to capture Joel. And they also consider retreating, but Abby isn't having it. She wants to fucking kill Joel, and she goes on patrol. Then we cut back to Jackson, and Ellie's asleep, but she's woken up by Jesse, who is the Asian guy. And they start discussing what happened the previous night. And they start talking about how Ellie basically fucking cucked the shit out of Jesse by kissing Dina. And he's pretty sad about it. He's a little sad about it. He's being a little ironic, but you can tell he's somewhat sad about the situation because he got absolutely cucked. But anyway, they're talking about other stuff, and we come to find out a few things. Is that Joel and Ellie might have made up. They might be cool with each other again. She was saying how she wanted to go on patrol with Joel, but Joel had to leave earlier and he went with Dina. And the third thing we learn are the possibility of the infected getting smarter. So we saw that intelligent one in the first episode, but now we're learning that there might be some hiding under the snow or something. Little rumors about that are happening. But yeah, Ellie and Jesse go to this like town meeting, and they're planning this like drill or something. I don't know, I wasn't really listening. But yeah, they're planning this big drill, or they're preparing for, you know, a bunch of fucking infected coming, possibly. There's, you know, there might be some fucking infected coming. They don't know. And then when everyone is walking out, Ellie and the crew, they go to the, like, the kitchen area or whatever. And one of the cooks is Seth, who, if you don't remember the end of the first episode, he called Dina and Ellie a bunch of fucking dykes. And oh my god, he fucking apologizes like a fucking fag. You got nothing to apologize for. In fact, if it was me, I would fucking double down. But no, he cucks out, he apologizes. And when he's like apologizing and shit, Ellie is just giving him the fucking biggest death stare. And she's not scary whatsoever, it's so funny. She looks so fucking dumb. Stop looking at him like that. But yeah, after this encounter, Ellie and Jesse go on patrol. Then we cut to Abby. She's up on the mountains and she's overlooking Jackson. And here we have a really cool shot of the mountains that overlook Jackson. It just looked pretty cool. But yeah, she's up on the mountain, she's looking around, and then she spots two people on patrol. And we see her walking around, going to ambush them. But all of a sudden, during this time, a snowstorm hits the area. And this is like really weird, like turquoise tint to the coloring, and it just looks kind of off. I don't know what it was. It was, it did stick out to me a little. Maybe it was done to like help with the CGI of the snow. I don't know. Mind you, there's a lot of people on patrol, but that includes Dina, Joel, Ellie, and Jesse, and they're like far apart, by the way. They're not together, and they go all into separate buildings and shit all over the place. As Abby's walking around, we cut back to her. As she's walking around on the mountains, she's planning on climbing down one. So she's climbing down backwards and she trips. And she goes sliding down the fucking hill. And she falls to the ground. And she gets up and what does she see? There's a bunch of fucking dead, frozen, infected. But they're not dead. They're still fucking alive. And they all come fucking climbing out of the snow. Heaps of them. I'm talking like hundreds, probably thousands. Yeah, definitely, it was definitely thousands. And they start fucking chasing Abby, and she's running, and this is a very dramatic scene. There's music playing, and she's running. It's very tense. And she finds these group of buildings behind a fence. She climbs up on the fence, and she gets down, and she's walking between the infected, the fence, and herself, if that makes sense. There's like a chain fence, and she's walking in this like little alleyway place, and there's thousands of fucking infected, so they topple over the fence, but it gets caught on the building, so it's at like a 45-degree angle, and now she's fucking crawling on the ground trying to get away. The infected are banging on the fucking fence, putting their tongues through it. All types of freaky shit. One's like slicing its fucking hand through the fence. It's pretty cool. And she's crawling. One manages to rip a hole in the fence and starts chasing her, fucking tackles her. Abby's about to get bitten and shit, but then a gun comes out, bang, right in the head of the infected. Someone saved her. Can you guys guess who it fucking was? It was Joel, the very person that she's looking for and that she wants to fucking kill. He saves her. They go into this building and start hiding. But then we cut to Jackson, and everyone's preparing for a possible drill, And one dude, he's like banging on these pipes with like a sledgehammer or some shit. Do you guys remember in the first episode, these pipes? They had the infection in it, and he notices this. So there's something going wrong in the Jackson piping. Mind you, while this is happening, there's like this old man on this watchtower, and he's looking out into the snow, into the storm. And what does he see? He sees fucking thousands of fucking infected coming right towards Jackson. Everyone's, ringing the alarms, and they start preparing for what's to come. Tommy starts to organize Jackson. They're all getting up on top of the walls and shit. And the infected come running. They come crashing into the walls. They push down these, like gasoline drums. These big, drums full of gasoline. Start shooting the gasoline drums. And they light it on fire. Boom! Huge fucking explosions. Heaps of fucking infected are on fire. They're running into the walls and shit. And then in the distance, you see something. You see this fucking giant one is just walking around slowly coming towards Jackson. And then it goes to the wall and fucking breaks it down and shit. Now heaps of infected are coming through. Thousands. Everyone's fighting in the street. Everyone's on top of buildings shooting. Bang, 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 bang. People are hiding in bunkers and basements and shit. The infected managed to make their way up on top of the building, start killing everyone. And, everyone's fighting. But while they're fighting, we have some plot armor happening. Tommy's in the middle of the street. He wants to face off with the big infected, the huge one. He's got this little flamethrower, and he's walking up towards it and shit, and you have heaps of infected walking, just like running past him and shit, not attacking him. That kind of took me out of the episode. I'm like, okay, what's happening here, boys? But yeah, he lures off the big infected, and he gets trapped in this like I guess alleyway type place, and he's spraying it with the fire from the flamethrower. But then he runs out and he's backed in the corner. He's on the fucking ground. It slowly makes its way over. It's about to kill him, right? But then it collapses. He killed it. He killed it with fire. I was on the edge of my fucking seat. I'm like, damn, I guess this is how Tommy's gonna go. But nope, he killed it. He killed it. Then we cut back to Joel and Abby and Dina. And they made up their mind that they weren't gonna go to Jackson because You know, they're up on the mountains and they look down and see Jackson is on fire. They're like, fuck, we need to go back, we need to go back. But Abby convinces them to go back to this lodge where she and the rest of the Fireflies were staying at. So they all go back to the lodge to get reinforcements and supplies. Then when they're up there, Joel meets the rest of the Fireflies and Abby introduces him. She's like, oh guys, this is Dina, and then this is Joel. One of the Fireflies grabs Dina, holds her hostage, and they're like, yo, we're gonna put her to sleep, then we're gonna fucking deal with you, Joel. You know, they jab her, put some sort of fucking thing in her to make her go to sleep for an hour, and they start interrogating Joel. Mainly Abby. She starts talking to Joel. She's like, you know, where were you last? And he's like, oh, I was in Salt Lake. And she was like, okay, yep. You know, that works out. And then she's like, do you remember you killed a doctor who was no threat to you? You killed a doctor. That doctor was my fucking dad. And now I'm gonna do the very same thing you did to my dad to you. I'm gonna fucking kill you, Joel. And by the way, when they're talking, we find out that Joel's supposed to be 60. Like, come on. Pedro Pascal is not looking 60 in the show. So they kind of fucked that up. But yeah, anyway. Abby fucking shoots Joel with a shotgun in his fucking knees. He's on the ground. They get a tourniquet and, you know, strap him up. She goes over to these golf clubs and she's giving this, like, big, you know, villain monologue. And then Joel just comes out of nowhere and fucking owns her. He's just like, just get it over with. And I fucking died laughing. He's just like, shut up, bitch. Just fucking, you know, do whatever you have to do. Just shut the fuck up. Just completely fucking owned her. But then she's like, you know, fuck, okay. And she starts fucking beating him with the golf clubs right into where she shot him. And during this time, Ellie, she's on her horse. You know, she's left whatever she was doing. I forgot. I think Jesse was going back to Jackson and she went out looking for Joel. She's up on the mountains, she's looking down at Jackson on fire, but then she starts seeing these tracks and she follows them and she finds the lodge and she goes inside and she's hearing a woman screaming and shit, you know, grunting more like it. And she opens the door and she sees fucking Abby beating the fuck out of Joel with the golf club, points out her gun, then like one of the dudes tackles her. I think it was the fake mink looking guy. She gets out her knife, slashes his hand, then, you know, the bold Blasian bitch pins her down. And she's pinned down, and Abby's looking at her and shit. Abby goes and gets this, like, steel stick thing. Maybe it was like a fire poker, I'm not sure. She gets it, fucking jams it into Joel's head, and, you know, by this time, he was already practically dead, but he was clinging on for life. Ellie was like screaming, get up, Joel, get up, get the fuck up. But he can't now because he's got a fucking stick through his head. And Ellie goes fucking crazy. She's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you guys. But you know, the Fireflies, they did what they wanted to do. They killed Joel and, you know, now they fuck off. The job's finished. Ellie, she goes to embrace Joel and she's hugging him and she starts crying. And that's essentially the end of the episode. We get some final shots of Jackson and they somehow fended off the infected. There's bodies all over the street. So many people are dead, infected and the survivors. Tommy, he goes to embrace his wife, you know, his black wife. And then we get a shot of Dina, she's woken up. Dina, she's on the horse. Ellie, she's on the other horse, and they're riding into Jackson, and they've got Joel tied up, getting dragged by the horses, and the episode ends. And yeah, that's the end of the episode. Oh, fuck, so much happened in this episode. It fucking dwarfed the first episode. It makes the first episode feel like nothing fucking happened. So much shit happened this episode. Jackson got invaded, Joel's fucking dead. And the Fireflies, they fucked off. Oh my god, where the fuck do I even start? Everything about the episode was great. The tension was great. The score of the episode was great. It was thrilling. You know, it was very tense all throughout. When Abby was getting chased by the infected. Ooh, that was great. That was great. I really loved that scene when she was fucking running. You know, I could put myself in her shoes. That's fucking terrifying. And especially when she was up against the fence, that was so good. That was executed so greatly. I loved it. But I do have a couple like logistical issues with the episode. So if you remember when like Jackson was getting sieged essentially by the infected, they launched off these like barrels of gasoline and set fire to the place, set fire to the outside, and a bunch of infected caught fire, and they were all like ramming into the walls and shit. And mind you, the walls are made of wood, so I don't really understand how none of the walls caught fire. I don't know what it was with that. I don't know why they didn't catch fire as well, but fuck it. And you know that part where Tommy, he's walking through the street and none of the infected go up to him for some reason. You know, again, that took me out of the episode. But yeah, other than those like small issues, I loved the episode. It was great. As I said, it was tense all throughout. Had many great scenes. The chase scenes with all the infected, as well as the fight scene in Jackson was very good. Apart from those like small issues, it was really cool seeing them, you know, kill all the infected and shit. I loved it. I loved it. Oh, as well as the last scene. Need to talk about that, of course. Joel's fucking dead. It's sad to see Pedro Pascal go, but we all saw this coming. If you knew anything about the second game, you knew that early on in the game Joel dies. I don't know how he dies in the game, but if it was anything like this, it must have been good. That was grueling. It was brutal to see him, and I heard it was a little bit more violent in the game as well, cause a lot of like the a lot of Abby hitting him with the golf club, that was like off screen. You just saw the reactions of the other Fireflies. You know, they're pulling away and shit out of disgust, cause she's just going fucking crazy on him. But yeah, it's just sad to see Joel go. And Pedro Pascal, he was great in the episode, especially the last scene. You know, with him, he was trying to get up. You know, Ellie, she was like screaming, get up, get up, get up. But he just couldn't because he's too fucked up. He got too fucked up. And Bella Ramsey, she was good in this episode as well. You know, she was good in her emotional state when she was on the ground, you know, pinned down by the blasian. And she's screaming, that was great. I would like to see more tears. I didn't see that many tears from her. I think I saw maybe 2. You know, that's maybe something she can work on. But you know, that's just little nitpicks. I'm nitpicking at this point. But yeah, it was a great episode, much better than the first one, and I'm really excited to see where the series goes on from here. Of course, we're going to have to see Jackson get rebuilt, but you know, I'm still thinking, you know, what's up with the pipes? What's up with that? You know, the infected is in there and shit, you know? How will everyone react to Joel being dead? What's Ellie gonna do? How is she possibly gonna get her revenge? And what are the Fireflies gonna do? What's up with them? Are they leaving? You know, what are they gonna do? So yeah, I'm pretty excited for next week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Enjoyed my little breakdown of what I saw. Thank you if you watched my previous episode, my previous video on The Last of Us. Is sitting at like 700 views. Appreciate it so much. But yeah, it's like nearly 9 o'clock. I need to get this video done by 12. So it's nice and upload it early tomorrow. So yeah, I need to get editing. I appreciate it. I love you guys. Later on this week, I'll probably make a video on Sinners. Sorry I didn't get that done this weekend. But yeah, look forward to that video, that review. See you guys next week. I love you. Peace.